Can I just say that 7 days before swaps are due, when I'm only writing 1 to 2 days a week, was not the best time to start over on this project. Like, at all.
Ogre, you're about to push her off the bed. Did you know that? Jester, you're just gonna let him push you off the bed like that? Pixel, get his tail. Oh, really? Tell me how you really feel. Look at that tail wag. Look at that tail wag. Are you happy? Are you guys ready for something? Are you ready for something? Such as dinner? Oh! Oh! Hello! Ow! Hi! Callsies. Alright, let's go eat some food. I'm hungry too. Hi, girly. You're cute. You are. You're so cute. You're welcome in our yard anytime you want. And just ignore these fools. Just ignore these fools. They can't get to you. Okay? Hi, gorgeous. Hey, don't be barking at her. Oh, you guys are barking at each other. They're not even paying attention to you right now. Bye, girly.
Good morning, Dragonlings. A couple days ago, I said I was going to redo the experiment, the ChatGPT experiment experiment for me, the writing routine that Kate Kavanaugh came up with for using ChatGPT. I'm not awake yet. It's 4 o'clock in the morning. So I'm not up as early as I would like to be. I set my alarm for 3 o'clock and then I proceeded to lay back down because I was pinned underneath 2 dogs and I was scrolling through my phone and apparently I fell asleep at some point. And I just got up like 5 minutes ago. So, and that was, I don't even know what exactly woke me up, but Jester's outside now barking out God knows what. Excuse me. And I am just now getting set up. So, there's that. I gotta go let Jester in. I'll be right back. Alright, I let Jester in. As I was saying, I just woke up. It's just now 4 o'clock. So I think what my plan is to spend the next 30 minutes getting set up and ready to go like I would have if I had gotten up at 3. And I'm going to find some paper to get my information set up on, because I can't use the same page as last time, because last time I had written my original plan on the front side and then I rewrote it, cleaned it up on the back side a little bit. Still chicken scratch in my opinion, but I might put it on, might make a computer version, like type it up instead of writing it out, just so it's a little easier to read and a little easier to share. That way I can post a link to it in my comment section. Maybe I'll do it on Google Docs so I can post a link on my comment section and make it easier to share. I think that's what I'll do. But you're supposed to do a 3-hour set of sprints before your first break, and I think what I'll do, and then your end with, besides the 1 hour sprint, you end with an hour block of sprints. I think what I'll do is I'll flip-flop those. The first one will be an hour block of sprints, and then I'll end with that 3-hour block of sprints. And the reason I'll do that is because of the fact that I gotta take that break at the same time because I gotta take the kids to the bus stop. So that's my plan. It's not the exact same experiment, but that's on me because I did not go to bed. Or I did not get up. Did not go to bed either. I got home yesterday and I took a nap. And then I couldn't fall asleep until like 10:30 at night. And when you're getting up at 3 o'clock in the morning, it's only 5 hours of sleep, 4 hours of sleep. So that's part of the reason why I fucked up. Which is okay. I'm off today, so it's okay. If I've been working, not quite so much. Though my job is really lenient about hours too. So that's good. Got my monster. I'm going to go ahead, get everything set up, and get ready for the first sprint. And I will see you guys soon. Chat with you guys soon. Whichever happens first. Whatever. So I just finished a video during my break while I was getting everything set up that I think will be really helpful for me. It's from Heart Breathings, and I'll have it listed in the description below, but it's about editing a rough draft, which is perfect for me because almost as soon as I finish the anthology submission, that's pretty much what I've got to do is edit the rough draft because swaps are due on the 1st. And I know it needs a lot of work because it's not quite working out the way I wanted it to originally. Like, I had in my brain that the inciting incident would be her having the main character having a mental breakdown in a grocery store when she sees a man that looks like her abuser as a child, and that would spark a whole lot of other things. However, the way I have it written out is that there was some memory/dreams that she had prior to that incident, and I've got to rework that a little bit. I already know I have to rework that a little bit because it's throwing some other things out of proportion as far as what's going on when. So I've got to fix that, and I know I've got to fix that, but I'm gonna wait until I get to the editing portion to do that because I got to figure out exactly how to fix that, and I can't do that in rough draft form. And then the other story I'm working on is my client story, same as last time I did this experiment, but I've only got 3 chapters left to finish the client story. And I actually don't have that much left to finish the anthology submission either, which is actually going to throw this experiment off. So I might not count this as an actual experiment because I don't have projects I want to work on instead. Because as soon as I finish these 2 projects, I want to go back and start editing them. So that's going to throw off this experiment, I realized. I actually realized this last night, but I don't remember making a clip about this last night. Or if I did, the footage is gone. So one of the things I'm thinking is that this experiment is only going to last long enough for me to finish the rough drafts of these 2 things. Then I will quit this experiment today, no matter where I'm at with it, and start working on the rough draft version. Editing the rough draft. And I might go back and watch Heart Breathing Sarah Cannon's video again, because while I was listening to it, I would like to listen to it and take notes. There are some videos where, in order for me to really understand what's being said in them, I have to take notes, and then I have to read through those notes again and again and again. But that's one of the videos where I know I'm going to have to rewatch it and take some notes, because it's not sinking in. I know what she said, but it's not clicking. The cool thing is I'll be able to move more of these client story stickies down. I've got chapter 11, chapter 12, and epilogue. I'll be able to move the anthology first draft down today, hopefully, and then I'll be able to move the anthology swaps due down to the to-doing section. If you haven't seen my Kanban board before, this is to do, to doing, to done. That's how I word it. This is family. This is my this is my 3rd goal, actually. So this is all family related or individual outside of work related. This is Brimstone Books, which is my publishing company, so anything dealing with my writing and my editing and my proofreading and all that fun jazz goes here. And then this is technically goal 1. This is work and education, because when I first started setting it up this way, I was in the middle of taking classes so that I could start becoming a data analysis, and I'm still going to be doing that, but it's kind of on hold right now because of finances, because I've had so many issues recently, like with the heat, the water pump, now the car. Like, I haven't had the money to pay for my next set of courses that I need to take. And that's why all of these are still up here in this section, because these all deal with after I have paid for the next course. In fact, actually, I think sign up for the course is one of my tabs that'll go down into doing when I have the money for it. The courses, I'm going to be signing up for Coursera Plus so I can get certificates and a bunch of different things, including accounting, data analysis, and a couple other things. And it's about $400 a year, which is awesome considering how much I plan on doing and how often I plan on doing it. So it's actually not a bad price. I just don't have it right now. And it's not one of those things where you can pay a little bit monthly. It's all or nothing kind of thing. So that's why those haven't moved at all, and they won't. Maybe not even this quarter. They will stay the same next quarter if I don't move any of them, and I'm okay with that. Because I accomplished last quarter a lot of what I needed to do as far as that goes up until now. I changed jobs. I finished some free courses that I had. I've got more free courses I probably could add up there, but because of all this one was my heavily one, and this isn't even everything because a lot of stuff has been added on that I just haven't added as sticky notes. I've just been writing those down in my planner and on the calendar, on the family calendar on the fridge. And yeah, I'm just really busy enough with these 2 sections that I don't care that this section's really light. So yeah, and I think next quarter I'll change them. So this is goal 1, goal 2, goal 3 versus goal 1, goal 2, goal 3. So yeah. Anyways, we're 10 minutes into what's supposed to be my first sprint, but even though I had everything open, I had to read back through things, and I wanted to record what my plan was. I am still working on my anthology submission and my client story. Both are really close to being finished. I think I have about 5,000 to 6,000 more words to write in the anthology submission before it's done, or the rough draft is done. And I have 3 chapters to write in the client story before the rough draft is done. And then it'll be on to editing those. So this experiment today is not an official experiment, even though I'm calling it experiment number 2, because as soon as I hit editing portion, this experiment will basically be over. And I just wanted to let you know that, because I will do a separate experiment where I do this in the editing way versus the drafting way, because I want to see what that's like too. So, and I don't want to do it in the same experiment. I have other projects in mind for that experiment. So that's the plan. That's where we're going. But first I have to go to the bathroom. So body says must go now. So I'm going to. I'm on sprint number 3, I believe, and the first couple sprints, while I've gotten some words in, I haven't actually been focusing on the projects I'm working on, because I've been setting up my chart in Google Sheets for experiment 1, recording basically everything from my first attempt into a Google Doc, and then setting it up for experiment 2 and 3. And I am actually going to set up for experiment number 4 as well. Delete that actually. And delete that. And the reason for that is because this is probably not going to be an official experiment, because I would like to do the official experiment with the whole thing, and I've already mentioned that I'll be stopping once I finish these projects. I think I just need to wrap up the anthology submission. I thought I had more words to write, but I don't particularly like smexy scenes, and that's what it's leading up to, is a smexy scene. I'm like, no. So I think it's time for me to wrap it up. It might even be when I don't wrap up exactly. I might just stop writing and start rewriting. I think I need to go back to the outline and rethink it. I mentioned before that it's not quite working the way I had originally planned. But now it's really not working the way I originally planned. And I think what's happening is the client story does have smexy scenes, and I'm on those smexy scenes. I finished up some of them, and I didn't realize there was another one, and there is. And that's where I'm at now with that one. Which is fun, I guess. I don't enjoy writing smexy scenes. I don't enjoy reading smexy scenes. So it's going rough for me. Not like bad rough, just like I won't go as far as to say I'm uncomfortable, because they don't always make me uncomfortable. It's just that it's not something I enjoy writing, and I prefer not to write them. Because of that. And that's funny because like two of my favorite, like my favorite series that I do write is the Shifters and Mages story. And in book 1, I think there is a sex scene. It's like barely there because the characters are minors. And so I don't go into great details, and it's kind of interrupted. It's not a full smexy scene. But then in the original book 2, what is now book 3, there is trigger warning because there is sexual assault with a minor. Yeah. And again, I don't go into great detail. Like, you know what's happening, but I do not describe it. And writing that scene was really, really difficult. It did make me uncomfortable, and it's supposed to. Like, that one is supposed to. I felt uncomfortable writing it. I have always felt uncomfortable editing it, and it is supposed to do that, because I'm sorry, if you read that scene and you feel comfortable, no, it is not meant to make. You are supposed to feel uncomfortable. You're supposed to feel angry. You're supposed to feel scared. You're supposed to feel all those other emotions. You are not supposed to feel comfortable reading that scene. And every time I go back through it, and when I first wrote it, when I edited it, and every time I read back through it, it gives me all those emotions, and I'm like, that's exactly what that scene is supposed to do. You are supposed to be scared. You're supposed to be pissed off and angry, depending, like, you're supposed to be angry that this is happening to her, and you're supposed to feel like you want to kill this son of a bitch, because that's what I want you to feel, and that's the way I feel whenever I read back through it. And yeah, that went off on a little tangent. So I don't want any of that to be in this anthology submission, but I think because I'm writing smexy scenes in the client story, I think it's starting to bleed over into the anthology submission. So I think it's time for me to just wrap up the anthology submission and go back to the drawing board. I don't have a lot of time to do that because swaps are due June 1st. It is May 24th, which means I have 7 days to finish this. I have a week to finish this because it's due next Thursday, because the 1st is next Thursday. Excuse me. So yeah, I'm running really short on time to get this finished, and originally in my head I was thinking, oh, well, I can do another 10K experiment next Wednesday. I can't, because we're going to Great Falls to hopefully get another vehicle. So yeah, I'm running out of time. I've got to get this finished, which means I need to go back to the drawing board with it, which means I've already ruined this experiment because I'm going to stop writing on project 1. It's not working out. I am writing smexy scenes. I didn't want smexy scenes. I want the foreplay of a smexy scene without the actual smexy scene. And it went full on straight into it. I'm like, fuck. Literally. So yeah, it's time to go back to the drawing board with that one. I need to go back in my outline, relook at it, compare it to what I've got, and go from there. So I'm already going to start editing that, and I'll just be working on project 2, which is my client story, which is actually going extremely well. I wrote more words on the first sprint with that one than I did on the sprint that went with project 1, which is the anthology submission, and that is going much easier, much better than the anthology submission, which kind of sucks, But to be fair, I have been working on it longer. It was completely outlined. The outline was approved. Excuse me. And the client was happy with where the idea of the story was going to go. So I am having a lot better time with that one, just because I've been working on it A, longer, and B, like it's solid, and we both felt like it was solid. Me and the client both felt like it was solid before I even started writing it, and it's been sticking pretty close to the outline, whereas the anthology submission has gone away from the outline. Not in a bad way until now, and even now it's really like if I wanted those kinds of scenes in the story, or if they worked in this kind of story, the problem is they really don't. I mean, they do. There's probably going to be others who do write some XC scenes, and that's fine. That's on them. That's not what I want. It's not really what I want for my stories that I publish under my SD Hegyes pen name. And while some of my stories will have some scenes, maybe one, maybe two, most of them just hint at it, or it's like fade to black or behind closed doors kind of thing, like you know what's going on but you don't see it kind of thing. And that's not what the story's trying to do. It's trying to be up in your face. So let's the monster has a tail. And I'll let you go with that what you will. Think about how he might use his tail in a smexy way, and you've got where this story is going, which is not where I want it to go at all. Whereas the client story is under a different pen name, and it's allowed to go that direction, except for it's contemporary versus paranormal. So, whoo! Let's just say it's getting hot in here. It is, there's supposed to be 3 peppers for this story, and it's slowly building up to 5. Which is not where I wanted to go at all. So yeah, it's back to the drawing board with that one, and I'm going to be just focusing on finishing up the client story mostly, and going back to the drawing board with the first story. Yeah. Is it hot in here, or is it just me?
Today is like the perfect day, for me at least. I love the rain, and it is currently sprinkling. The air is not too cold, but it's pretty cool still. The sunrise was only like 2 hours ago, and you can still see it like burning up the sky over there behind the clouds, and it's really pretty in my opinion. My camera doesn't show it very well. Compared to my husband's, I have a bad camera, and compared to a professional camera, he has a bad camera, so, but it is not that bad. But yeah. You can hear trucks from the interstate over there. Can see the interstate right there. Yeah. I love living here. It's really pretty. And I like it when it rains, even if it doesn't rain too often.
So the kids are off to school now, which means I am free to do what I need to do. I have about 15-ish minutes before the next sprint, which is great stuff because I have to run to the bathroom again. I don't know if it's because I'm almost done with my monster already, or I'm just having problems today. Like, today has not worked out the way I want it to, which is fine. Things happen. But at the same time, I'm like, I won't go as far as to say I'm frustrated, but like, it's just not going as the way I planned, and I'm just like, okay. So, but it's working out. I had a revelation with the anthology submission. Taking that break from it, starting to read back through it, kind of gave me what I needed. And I was also watching some Facebook reels and stuff like that, and I got another story idea, which is fantastic. So if it turns out I can't make this one work for me, I will backtrack and work on this one instead, because I can make this one work. But I don't really want to. I want to finish this story and submit this story. So that's what I'm aiming for. Hopefully it works out in my favor. So I figured out what to do for the monster anthology, and I think on the next sprint for this, I will be able to tackle writing it again. I've worked out a new plot for it, which I think will work better, and is kind of like, I fully believe like history repeats itself, and this is very much more of a history repeats itself, whereas the first idea was her having like a panic attack because she saw someone who looked like someone else she knew in her past who wasn't very good to her as a child. Obviously it's not the same person because they looked exactly the same, and years have passed since then because now she's an adult. But so of course the person wouldn't look the same. But yeah, I think this story idea where like something is going on that kind of parallels what happened then is much better. And I've changed it just enough. I think it'll work. And I think I'll be able to write 10 to 20K on it. So that's my goal, and I'll get started on the next sprint with that. I basically just word dumped for this sprint, which isn't even over yet, what I think needs to happen for this to work. Or like almost like a blurb, but it's not quite a blurb. It was just me brain dumping what I think would go in a blurb, but it's not actually a blurb. So getting there. I think it works better. I also was watching reels earlier. Hold on. Got it. Mosquito. I was watching some reels earlier, and I got another story idea, which I have put in my little prompt journal, which will eventually become a prompt during one of my live streams. So that's fun. And I've also put my my monster prompt in here. And I think for the rest of the sprint, I'm actually going to work on this instead, because what I've been doing is collecting more prompts in here, and I think I want to go back and mark the ones I've already used. And like when I write them, I'll put a check mark in that mark. So I've got some, I don't know where they are, but I've got some dot markers. And I think I'll mark them with a dot marker when I use them, and I'll put a check mark in that dot when I think I'll put a dot with a dot marker when I use them as a prompt on my streams, and then I'll put a check mark when I write that prompt. Because the whole reason I'm keeping these for myself is A, so I don't use them again on my live streams, and B, so if I ever don't know what I want to write about, I got ideas. This isn't full yet, but I guarantee before the end of this month it will be, because I've been reading more prompt books and adding stuff into this and stuff like that. So I'm getting there. I'm working on things. Got this. I got this. Yeah.
Just in case anyone was wondering what my stories are, other than the client story, I write about monsters falling in love. It even says so right here on my website homepage. I write stories about monsters falling in love. You want to know why? Because monsters need love too. Yes, they do.
So it's taken several more sprints than I thought it would. I thought it would be quick, easy, get it done kind of thing. And it wasn't, because I forgot I've added a bunch more prompts to this. But I finally got all of the ones marked off I've used in streams before. And I thought I had been writing prompts on my streams since the get-go. But apparently that only started in 2020, which actually makes sense. Because 2020 was when everyone went on at-home stuff. Oh my god, because of the pandemic. I can't remember what it's called. Anyways, everyone was forced to stay home because of the pandemic, and there was more people jumping onto streams, whether they were streaming themselves or just jumping on in the comment section. And that, I think, is when I was asked, hey, do you have any prompts? And I've been doing it ever since. Not when I first started streaming, as I keep thinking for some reason. But I've got them all in here now that I've done for every stream since I started. And I've got them marked if I used them on a stream, because I have added new prompts, and I have new prompts that I can use on streams. And I will continue adding into there until this is full. I think we're at the halfway mark. No, we have a couple more pages before the halfway mark. And then I'm going to fill this rest of the way up with prompts. And I'll mark them off when I put them on, when I put them in live streams, and then I'll mark them off again with a check mark or something when I use them personally. And there's a couple that I am using now for an anthology. So yeah, I've got them all written down. I can't wait to use them, and I can't wait to fill this up, because I do have one more notebook of a different kind, same brand, because Carol was nice enough to send me, I think, 3. I think I have a third one that looks like this. I can't remember. I'll have to go look, because I know there was 3, and I don't know where the third one is off the top of my head. I don't know why I have 2 instead of 3. I think maybe I just randomly grabbed these, and that's why I think maybe the third one looks exactly like this, is because I was just trying to decide which one of these 2 to use first. I don't know, but those are going to be my prompt books. Thank you again, Carol, for sending me these because I love them. I love them. And I love you. You're amazing. Okay. All right. Anyways, I'm going to go back to writing because I still have 6 minutes on this sprint and I haven't been doing what I wanted to do for this experiment at all this week. And yeah, I'll get there eventually.
Guys, there's a deer in my backyard. There's a deer in my backyard. Is she alone? I don't see anyone else. I'm looking through the window. Oh my god, there's a deer in my backyard. You guys don't know how happy this makes me. It's a white tail? No, that's a mule deer. She's got white butt. It's a mule deer. Oh my goodness. I love it. Oh. Come back around the tree, girly. Come back over on this side. If it wasn't a rainy day, I had actually planned on sitting at that table she's in front of. Can't see it really well because of the tree there, but she's right in front of the table I would have been sitting at. And this is one of the many reasons why I love living here, because I can see this right out my window. I saw her reflection in the acrylic basin here, and that's how I knew. At first I thought it was Jester outside, and I was like, I don't remember letting Jester back out, and the door's closed. But no, it's a deer in my backyard. This is the closest they've been in a while. If they were in my backyard last year when I was sitting here, I don't remember it. I kind of like that they've gotten comfortable enough to come into the yard itself. Though I know if I open the door to let the dogs out, she will run quicker than I can blink. I wonder where your yearling is, because there's a pair that comes up here. There's a doe and a yearling. It's a fawn that's already got its spots gone. And it actually used to be 3 of them, 2 does and the yearling. Now it's just the 1 doe and the yearling. So I'm thinking the one is bye-bye. But yeah, her yearling's not sticking as close to her as she used to.
Alright, I only have the last sprint of the day left, which is the hour-long sprint. Everything's been going good so far. I have written a bunch of words in both projects, and I'm going to be working on the anthology submission for the 1 hour sprint, which is different from last time, because last time I worked on the client story, and the reason for that is because of the fact that I started over and I need a lot more words on it before I can, call it done. Like a lot more. But that being said, it's sitting at 2,500 words, so it's not doing terribly. 2,500? 2,200. It's not terrible, it's going good. So, sorry, I just got a text message from work about how we're doing stuff tomorrow. I had something that I was going to do. I don't remember what it was. Anyways, it's time to start my hour-long... I have 2 of the 3 dogs in here with me. Anyways, it's time to start my hour-long sprint, so let's go do that. I'm not going to get distracted by this until later. Alright, I finished writing for the day. That sprint went extremely well. I think it really helped to kind of switch tactics on how the story was going. And it's already made like a little bit of a change past what I was planning, but I think it works in a better way because it introduced our monster under the bed a little earlier than it would have, which I enjoy. We get to see him in another form, in a human form, and I like it. Yeah, and we also see that she doesn't trust him, because why would you trust someone that your piece of shit boyfriend brings over to your house and is watching you? Like, yeah.
But I'm on chapter 3 of that. It's going well. I'm really happy with how that's going. I have no idea how many chapters it's going to be because I'm just separating it as I get to new parts, basically new scenes. That's how that one's being separated. And I have 1.5 chapters to go in the client story. Yeah, I have to finish up this chapter. I have to decide if I need another chapter, and then I have the epilogue. The way it's working right now, I think I need another chapter, but I've got to read back through whatever I've written and see if I can wrap everything up right here. I might be able to. I think I can. I think I'm getting there, actually. So I just have a little bit left to do to finish that up, and I might finish that tonight. But yeah, I'm getting there. But the experiment for today is done. The experiment itself is done. If I continue writing, it'll be outside of this. And I have done quite a bit of words tonight. I'm almost at 10,000 words for the day, actually. Because on that very last 1 hour sprint, I wrote 2,024 words, which is awesome. I know 2024, if I were to divide that into 2, because 2 sprints technically, 1,012 words each. But that would be 1,012 words for 30 minutes versus 25 minutes. So not bad at all. And I'm not complaining. So the anthology submission is sitting at 4,588 total for the day. And the client story is sitting at 4,806 for the day. So that total, that's 9,394 words for the day. And I think that is pretty awesome. So yeah, I'm going to be including some screenshots, clips, something like that of these so you can see what they're like. But yeah, I'm fairly happy with how this experiment is going. I do again want to do this, and if I'd written, there was 1, 2, 3, 4 sprints that I wrote 0 words on because I was working on the prompt stuff, and I feel like if I'd written words on those sprints, I would have definitely gotten 10,000 words, and B, I think I could have finished the client story completely, because 2 of those sprints, nope, just 1 of those sprints, so I couldn't have finished it. 1 of those sprints was for that project. 3 of them were for the anthology submission, so I wouldn't have finished it as like I thought I would have, but I would have come a little closer. So I'm a little sad that I didn't write at least during that sprint for that project, but I am happy that I took that break because I needed it, because that is actually what I think allowed me to think about the anthology submission and get it where it needed to be in order so I could start writing it, be happy with that writing, because while I was technically happy with it before, I'm in love with it now. So better. And yeah, that's all I've got for right now. I don't know what else I was going to say. I feel like there was something else, but I don't know what it was. So ta-ta for now. So I'm getting ready to go to bed. I've edited a video. I'm uploading it now. I'm working on that. That's going to have to continue while I'm in bed. Hopefully it actually goes through. It says it has 57 minutes left and it's at 56%. We shall see what happens. I've been organizing files, which means soon I'll be able to move some of these that are over here, because I'm trying to get, I have lots of duplicate files in various places, so I'm trying to get everything onto this computer, and then I'll get it so that it backs up to Google Drive. Right now I had duplicates from Google Drive to this computer, and some of them were older, so I was sitting here comparing files. And I gotta finish doing that because I'm not done. I have a lot of files. And then I'll be condensing files down, because I've gotten to the point where, whenever I'm working on a Scrivener file, if I don't like the way it's going, it's easier for me to just open up a brand new Scrivener file and basically start over, versus creating a new folder and starting over from there. I don't know why, that's just what I do. So I have a bunch of files with just 1,000 words, 3,000 words, upwards to 10,000 words, where I've not finished that particular file, but I have finished that project in a new file. So I want to condense that down and get rid of the extras and stuff like that too. So this is a long project that's going to take me a while, and I know that, and it's okay. What else do I need to do? Oh, let's move some tabs. I gotta see. I gotta remember where I move stuff to now. Let's see.
that pen name. This project. Yeah, okay. So, client story, chapter 11. We have finished that. So that can move down. I am on chapter 12, so I can move that down. I think I'm almost finished with 12, and then I'll be able to move on to the epilogue. Okay, let's see. Move writing files from Google Drive to computer. I moved it down to doing right before I started it, but that was kind of pointless because now I'm going to move it down to move files from Google Drive to computer. And I moved them to this computer because it was just, this is the computer I want them on. Let's see. Upload all current writing files to Google Drive. Nope, not ready for that. Delete duplicate files from Gibbs. Delete duplicate files from Mac Mardigan. That's what we're working on. Mac Mardigan is the one we're working on. So, set back up on McGee to Gibbs. Set back up on Mac Mardigan to Google Drive. We need to put that down to doing. Upload all current writing files to Mac Mardigan. We'll move that to doing. All right. Movie TV log 2022. That's for my Notion project. We'll go ahead and move that down to doing because I think I'm actually done with that, but I need to double check it. And then we'll move. I think that's it. Yeah. Master bathroom trash, master bedroom trash. Yep, okay. That's all we can move for right now. Some of these are not going to get done. Like I haven't, until we do a complete cleaning of the house, I'm not going to set up a cleaning schedule, so that might not get done this quarter because it's just taking longer to get things done this quarter than we originally planned. And then a lot of the cleaning stuff is the same way. It's just taking a lot of extra time. We have a lot of stuff in our house, and while I am just like, let's get rid of it, the rest of my family is not. So getting everyone on board with the same plan, because it's one of those things where we have too much stuff and not enough places to put it. So we're working on it. It's just taking time. But all right. That is where I'm going to stop for today. I'm going to go ahead and close up everything. I will, yeah. I'll be done with this eventually. I need to really work on this, but this has to wait until these two things are done. And this is anthology swaps and anthology swap return. Or, yeah, returns. Okay. And then everything else is due in Q3. Oh, excuse me. Okay, it's way past my bedtime. I need to go. 52 minutes left, 60%. We'll let that upload over tonight, and hopefully it goes through. I will check it in the morning, and we'll see what happened. If it doesn't upload, it's going to have to wait until Friday when I get home from town. That's all there is to it. So, all right. You all have a good night. I'm going to get off here. So here's how experiment 1 went. It's got my schedule and how I did it, my project list, as well as word counts for sprint, total, and project. And the yellow is project 1, blue is project 2. We have the same thing for today's experiment, which changed up a little bit because I woke up at 4 instead of 3. But it's got the schedule that I did, as well as the projects I did. And again, yellow is project 1, blue is project 2. It is Friday, and I have a lot to do because I have 6 days before swaps with the anthology, and the story's not finished. I don't know why she's yelling. So it's currently sitting at 4,299 words, which is about half of where it needs to be minimum. And I know I can make at least the minimum word count, and I'm pretty certain it's going to be closer to the higher end word count, which is 20,000 words. But I do have to work on it. So here's my game plan. I'm going to be working on at least 1 sprint tonight, possibly 2, but I do have dishes and dinner to do tonight, so I don't know how much of that is actually going to happen. We will see how far I get. On top of that, tomorrow is Saturday, and I do have work, and then after I get off work, same thing. I'm going to try to do at least 1, if not 2 sprints. I would love it if I could do more than that, but I'm just going to aim for 1 is going to be my minimum. And anything on that top of that is going to be gravy. And then on Sunday, this is where my plan really gets big. And this is where I hope you guys hold me accountable, which I realize now is actually a bit of a misnomer. That's not the right word. Futile plan, because you guys aren't going to see this until after I accomplish this or not. But you'll be able to see whether or not I actually accomplish it, because I'll let you know. And here's what I have to do. I am off on Sunday, but Sunday is going to be my laundry day. So that's going to be the day I go to the laundromat and do all of our laundry. And in between waiting for stuff to get done in the washers and dryers, I tend to either listen to books on audio or I write. And I think what I'm going to do is focus on my writing, get these projects done. Because I have the anthology submission, which is due for swaps on the 1st. And I would like to be able to get it done so I can do at least 1 read through before I swap with another person to make sure it's not complete and utter shit. And then I have my client project, which was originally due in December, but we didn't even solidify the outline plan until December. So not done, working on it, close. I'm currently on chapter 12 with 12 and an epilogue to finish. And when I get through with that, same thing, I got to edit it and get that back to the client. So that is fun, and that's what I'm going to be working on this weekend. And I'm really hoping to get one of these projects done. If I have to choose between the 2, I would like to get the anthology submission done because that one has an official deadline. Swaps are due on the 1st, whereas the client story doesn't actually have a deadline. The client knows I'm working on it. The client knows I've been keeping them upfront with what's going on, with where we're at, what stage I'm at, what chapter I'm on versus what chapter I would like to be on, done a long time ago, but they know where we stand, and that's all that matters in the long run. I would like to be able to move more of these post-its around. In the meantime, what I've been working on, probably when I should be focusing on writing, I have been reorganizing files on my computer. I downloaded all the files from Google Drive and got rid of them on Google Drive. So they are currently on Mac Mardigan, which is my Mac. Named after Mad Mardigan and Willow. But because he's a Mac, it's Mac Mardigan. With a C. Thanks to Amy for naming my computer. But now that I've done that, I'm going back through and deleting all my duplicate files, because what had happened was I had some files on all my both my computers as well as in the drive and on my external hard drive, and then some were duplicated in various locations, and then some were not, but in one place. So my plan is to get everything off my PC, McGee. There is a trend here. All of my electronics are named after movie and TV show characters, just so you know. So my plan is to get all my writing related files off of McGee, which is my PC, because my original plan was to make it a gaming PC, and I want to get it back to that point where it's nothing but a gaming PC. Because it has a bigger monitor, some things are easier on it than on my Mac, but I would like to get to the point where it's just a gaming PC, and if I need a bigger screen for this one, I will get a bigger screen for this one. And then all my writing related stuff will be on Mac Mardigan, because that's my writing computer, my work computer. That is my eventual plan. And then I would like stuff to back up to Google Drive and my external hard drive. That's what I would like. I have got to research and see if I can get it so that only writing related files back up to Google Drive. I think there's a way to do that. I'm not positive what that way is, and there's no reason for me to set that up until after I've finished moving all my files around and getting rid of duplicates and making sure I only have the newest updated files, because that's the other thing. Some of the files are on multiple locations, but the updated ones are in weird locations, if that makes any sense. Like, there might be one on my PC that was actually recently worked on, has more words than one on Mac Mardigan, because for a bit there I was hopping between both computers and doing writing on both. So gotta quit doing that so that all my stuff is in one or two locations. One of those being Google Drive. And then I need to get it set up so that everything syncs automatically, writing-wise. So we're getting there. It's just taking time. And those are my main projects right now. The anthology submission, my client story, and condensing files and relocating and condensing files. That has been a whole process already in and of itself. So, yeah, lots of work to do. Don't have time to really chat. I need to go wash some dishes so I can get some dinner cooked. Well, no, it's too early for dinner, but I gotta get some dishes washed. So I will check back with you, and we'll see if I accomplish the things I need to accomplish this week. End.
This is my current desk setup right now, where the phone I'm using to film usually sits there. And that's the phone I usually vlog with. It's up on top of the washi tape stand. Now, remember how I mentioned in another vlog clip that this little piece was the only thing that could hold my phone? It stopped holding my phone. My phone slipped out 3 times and tore the rubber piece that was actually it felt like styrofoam on here. So I put this clip here to hold it up instead. And yes, I was about to film a vlog clip, which is why it's that way. So let's lock this. So, it's an old cell phone. It's got a better camera than this one that I'm currently using, actually. And yes, I do in fact have a lightsaber on my desk. Ah, my leg, I cut it off. My husband found it at work, and he put it on my desk. So yeah, I have a blue lightsaber. So, and apparently my youngest gave me a Squirtle keychain. My dog was eating it earlier. And if you couldn't tell, there is a blue theme to my desk. That's actually for work tomorrow. But yeah, my desk is a mess. My snuggle is still left on my desk from when it was chilly that one Saturday that I, Saturday? Not Saturday. Wednesday? That I was doing the writing experiment. And yes, there's a green ink stain in the bottom of my bag. It won't come out. It's been washed 3 times. And that's leftover oatmeal I need to take to work. And yeah, my desk is a mess. Random penny. So, but if you ever wonder what my desk setup is, this is it right now. I haven't brought out my large computer. When I bring out my large computer is going to sit here, I think. But I also need to bring the printer out here, replace that one. I am spinning in my chair. There's my Kanban board with my little skeleton, whose name I can't remember. He's got a name, I think.
So to wrap up this vlog for this week, because I haven't done that yet. Today's Tuesday of the following week. Lots of things happened, and I'm still working on the anthology submission, still working on the client story. However, I'm focusing more on the anthology submission because it is got an actual due date. And it's not done. Just fun. The other thing I'm doing, is I'm going to be testing out the ChatGPT writing routine one more time. I've now done it twice with a little bit of changes the second time because I woke up an hour late. Figured out why for that. My phone alarms were set. My settings for Do Not Disturb, which I put it on at night because I have a sister and a dad who work night shift and they send stuff. So the notifications were waking me up. So I got to the point where I silenced my phone and put it in Do Not Disturb mode from, I think it kicks in at 10 p.m., 10:30 p.m. and it kicks off at 5 a.m. But yeah, I had the either the phone updated or the apps that do the Do Not Disturb updated because it said that my alarms would not go off too. So that was fun. But yeah, so had a scare the other day. I got a phone call on Saturday from the superintendent of the school that they had an anonymous call from someone who said that there was going to be an active shooter at the high school graduation, which was supposed to be Sunday afternoon. And then Sunday afternoon. And then when I woke up Sunday morning, I got another call from a different number, but also still the superintendent, saying that the person who had made that threat had been detained, but that there was still going to be and police enforcement at the graduation just in case kind of thing. So that was a fun way to wrap up my weekend, which was great. So yeah, that's one of the things we've been dealing with, is I had to have a conversation with my girls about what to do during active shooter stuff. And because not a fun way to end the weekend, which is why I haven't filmed a lot of clips since then. So now you know. But everything's copacetic. Everything's good. I'm still working on the anthology submission. And in the meantime, I guess I'll see you guys whenever I see you guys next. Bye, Dragonlings.
Someone made the Rexy eat the Foxy. I should be offended, but I just find it amusing.